Welcome, listeners of Illusion to Temporal Discussion, the episode by episode. Start how you mean to carry on.
No!
Welcome, listeners of Illusion to Temporal Discussion, the episode by episode Nightmare Retrospective podcast. I'm Martin Harder, and I'm not going to fall off anything.
And I'm Martin Odoni, and I will find a way to fall off the exact word of the script.
And I'm Kim Stewart-Crossley, and I find it nigh on impossible to stay on anything.
Today we'll be looking at Series 6, Episode 6. It first aired on CITV on October the 16th, 1992. We've managed to source the listings for the rest of CITV that day. In the lead up to Nightmare, you likely would have been watching Scooby-Doo, followed by Astro Farm and Victor and Hugo. I love Astro Farm.
I love Victor and Hugo. Bunglers in crime.
The Nightmare RPG, when they tried to make their fourth season of it, it ended up being abandoned. But they actually recorded some pseudo CITV links for it. And one of the in-jokes they kept playing up for it was Matt Richings constantly referring to Astro Farm.
I don't remember Astro Farm.
Astro Farm was by the same people who did Charlie Chalk, I believe, and it was a similar sort of animation.
Yeah, that's right.
And it had a similarly rocking theme tune.
When you're cruising through the cosmos, you won't believe your eyes. There's always something new to see. When you're gliding through the galaxy, there's always a surprise. So why don't you fly with me? Astro Farm, it's a very special place. Astro Farm, can't you see we're living on an asteroid in outer space? Astro Farm, everywhere a friendly face. Astro Farm, can't you see we're living on an asteroid in outer space?
Number one at the box office was The Lovely Beauty and the Beast. That is one of my personal favourite films. Don't know about you guys, but I love it. Did you know the auditionees for Le Fou were asked to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game as part of their audition?
Which one was Le Fou?
Le Fou is the one that sings Gaston.
Oh, okay.
What's Gaston?
It's boy in French.
Hang on, no, it's not Gaston. It's boy in French.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Gaston was the really little co-conspirator in Count Duckula. We had those two thieves that were always trying to con Duckula.
Gaston and Pierre, which then became Victor and Hugo.
Now we've got it linking together.
Victor and Hugo was a spin-off of Duckula.
You are absolutely right now you mention that.
I mean, somehow, that was the best factoid I could have given for that film because of what we got out of it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we'll give you all the credit for that one, Kim. Well done.
Thanks, Martin. Take Me Out to the Ball Game was the audition song for Le Fou.
Excellent.
The number one song was the rather bland Sleeping Satellite from One Hit Wonder Tamsin Archer.
I blame you for the moonlit sky and the dream that died with the eagle's flight. I blame you for the moonlit nights when I wonder why are the seas still dry. Don't blame this sleeping satellite.
I don't really have any facts about it. It was... I even at the time, I found it inexplicable and it made it to number one because it's just really bland. Sorry, Tasman Archer. She's got a nice voice. It's a decent enough song. It's just bland.
Can't remember it at all. Yeah, sorry, Tasman, whoever you are.
I didn't think I'd ever heard it, but it turned out I thought it was called Moonlit Sky.
Understandable.
Yeah, I do remember it now, but I agree. It's a bit, it's just there. It's one of those songs that's just there.
It's a bit meh.
Yeah.
It's inoffensive.
It's fine.
It exists.
Temporal Discussion brings you the latest news from 1992.
It was the 1992 US election season, and it was starting to buzz at this time of Bill Clinton turning up the heat as he challenged President George H.W. Bush's, shall we say, not entirely impressive economic track record. While Ross Perot made things really interesting by re-entering the race and immediately pulling in double-digit poll numbers from the dads and granddads of the current MAGA crowd, mainly. Despite his earlier dropout, petition drives had secured his spot on the ballot in all 50 states, which takes some doing for an independent, making the campaign trail feel a bit like political musical chairs, where everyone's still very much in the game. Perot was very right wing. It was sort of JD Vance on steroids, right wing. But paradoxically, by standing, he did a massive favor to Clinton, as we discussed a few weeks ago. And he delivered a serious blow to Bush's chances because by going in, he, of course, split the Republican vote in two. On the same day, rather tragic news, of course, it's 1992. I've never been able to pronounce this correctly. The Palyagadela massacre was a really brutal, really bloody attack during the Sri Lankan Civil War, carried out by the Tamil Tigers, or the LTTE. The Tigers are a very violent extremist group, who caused terrible harm and human rights violations across Sri Lanka. In simple terms, on this particularly horrible occasion, the Tigers stormed a small Muslim farming village before dawn and killed around 285 civilians, including families who were still in their beds. The Islamic community in the region was often targeted because the Tigers viewed them as not necessarily enemies of their cause, but just not supporting their cause. And this attack became one of the most notorious and tragic examples of how ordinary people were getting caught in the middle of a very, very brutal conflict.
It's always just why are people, isn't it?
Especially in 1992.
Yeah.
In movie news, the future cult classic horror movie Candyman was released in the United States. Candyman, I just want to say, is probably my favorite horror movie of all time.
It's
It's
great.
incredible.
Amazing.
And breaking with tradition for horror movies, the remake is good as well.
I haven't actually seen it
It's
yet.
good.
I've kept intending to see it, but I never get around to it.
I thought you were somehow going to link it back to Victor and Hugo. Sorry, guys.
Well,
Sorry.
Tony Todd is an anagram. I haven't thought the rest of this through yet.
No.
It's an anagram of something very, very vaguely sort of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon connection to Victor and to Gaston and Pierre, and therefore links it. Yeah.
Right.
Good save.
I know it's flawless, wasn't it?
Right.
Flawless.
Good save.
Yeah. Anyway, the original Candyman film is basically a ghost story wrapped around a giant social commentary on America's dodgy history with race, class, and urban myths. On the surface, it's about a hook-handed spirit who appears if you say his name in the mirror 3 times, sleepover fuel stuff. But underneath, the film is poking very, very sharply at the real-world history of segregated housing, urban neglect, and the way society loves to sensationalize poor black neighborhoods while ignoring the systemic problems that created those conditions in the first place.
Sorry, I've got it. Tony Todd was in Beastmaster 3, The Eye of Braxus, with David Warner, who was in Albert's Memorial, with David Jason, who was in Victor and Hugo. Boom.
See, I told you there was a link.
Amazing.
You doubted me, Kim.
I did. I'm terribly sorry.
Take that skepticism back. Candyman himself, played by Tony Todd, his eyes are perfect for that role, by the way. That really sort of beady look Tony Todd had in his eyes, especially when he was looking towards the side, when he was turning to look at a victim. Magnificent, perfect casting. And it's probably his most iconic role because of his eyes. He is the literal embodiment of America's buried racial trauma, barely buried racial trauma. While Cabrini Green stands in for communities left to crumble by political decisions and economic inequality. It's spooky, but it's also slightly saying the real horror might be the American housing policy made along the way. It is a very effective horror film, and in some ways it's almost a shame that it had the supernatural element included in it, because it was almost burying the reality that it would still have been a pretty terrifying world to watch, even without the ghost in it. I should also add, Virginia Madsen was really good in the role of Helen Lyle. She had come a country mile from that really awful performance she put in as Princess Irulan in Dune a few years earlier.
I'd forgotten that was the same person.
So a bit of trivia about the film, the famous bee scene where the bees are come out of Candyman's mouth. Tony Todd actually had live bees in his mouth where he wore a custom dam to stop them from going down his throat. He negotiated a hazard bonus into his contract for £1,000 for every bee that stung him. He got an extra £23,000.
And now time turns. The recording light burns. Timeout is gone. The podcast is on.
In out of the cold, please. In quickly and find a chair, for things are certainly hotting up in here. We've an adventure, some young champions, a tale of a maiden in distress, and a dark sorcerer bent on mischief. I'm sure you can't wait to start. Come, Pickle, read it to us.
From St. Albans comes the challenge, Master. Pledged to redeem the sword. The dungeoneer is Alan, whilst his eyes and ears here above are Jim and Nick. Mark is the third member of this intrepid band. And nothing carried and no magic held, Master, but they're 24 minutes down the path and into the second level of the greater dungeon.
Just about the point where things usually start to get sticky. Let's discover how sticky.
I don't like that the pictures of the team in the book appear to have been put on the stretch setting of a widescreen TV.
Yeah, it's weird.
Someone forgot to reset the aspect ratio on the feed.
Yeah.
Also jarring is Treguard saying things are certainly hotting up in here, which is a bit of an Americanism for a 12th century Saxon lord. So it's not a great start, is it?
This is a 12th century Saxon lord that knows what an international departure lounge is.
This is also true, yes.
We've had this discussion. The dungeon does not take place within any particular time. Just they use the 12th century as a recruiting ground.
He does come from a particular time, though, so it still feels a bit weird him saying things like hotting up.
Listeners,
Everyone comes from a particular time.
listeners,
Yeah.
we do actually like this programme.
Game on.
Hey, stop, Alan. You're outside, yeah? You're not going to fall off or anything, but there's a ditch towards, right in front of you, the way you're facing now. You're outside, there's like ruins actually in front of you. In front of you now is a table.
The team newly arrived in level 2 are amongst some castle ruins, being used as a level 2 clue area this episode. Alan walks up to the block holding the items, which consist of a pear, a scroll, a spyglass, an ugly potion, a sheathed short sword, a bag of gold, and a gauntlet. Alan knapsacks the pear before using the spyglass.
Those tables sure were getting crowded by this point in Nightmare, weren't they? They were getting more and more clue objects, and the tabletop was getting smaller. You think back to Igneous or Granitas' clue room, there was loads of space, and they only had 4 items on them, and suddenly we've got these tiny little tree stumps, and they've got half the objects on planet Earth all over them.
Maybe it's like, in a shop, when if you're running out of stock, you kind of pull it all forward to make it look more full.
I don't think they needed that effect, really, because they weren't selling anything.
No.
Anyway.
The obvious red herring here is the ugly potion, because that's like the opposite of what they want to do.
Precisely, yeah. Don't bother with it. Seems to be the very, very, very subtle message there.
Okay, look in the spyglass then.
Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dum. Ain't I the clever, tricksy one?
Beg your pardon, your fairship, lordship. What's that you got there, then, eh? Sunny. Lovely.
Well, whatever it is, Skarkel, it's certainly not lovely. At 2 pins, I'd show it to you and wipe that silly leer off your face. And on second thoughts, I'd probably keep it there forever. What I have here, Skarkel, appears to be a Genoese box of delights. But in fact, it contains a Medusa eye. And we know what a Medusa eye does, don't we, Skarkel?
Oh me, your fairship.
Precisely. Only it's not you we want to stone, Skarkel. It's one of those nasty little adventurers. The thing is, how can I get them to look at it without making them suspicious? Oh, I do love a good trick. Ah, I have it. And I'm not going to tell you, Skarkel, because you'd only blab to everyone. Communications intercept.
Alan, drop that hourglass down.
Trying.
Quick.
Fiddle-dee, put the spyglass down quick.
So, Lord Fear is apparently going to attempt to trick Alan into looking into a Medusa's eye,
Phrasing?
which will turn him to stone.
Potential fanfic for someone to write there, perhaps. How did the Medusa, after season 3, get broken up into pieces and one of its eyes fall into the possession of Lord Fear? Anyone want to write that one up? I think that might be slightly interesting, at least.
I mean, Medusa's eye, I have seen role models and my brain goes to Whispering Eye immediately.
It means vagina. It means vagina.
It's a classy move, man.
It means vagina.
Anyway, it's fortunate then that Alan chose that exact moment to pick up the spyglass, isn't it?
It's always fortunate timing with spyglass sequence, isn't it? That they're a good addition to Nightmare for developing more of an unfolding narrative and for broadening the characters of the bad guys. But their application is always contrived. It's very rare that there isn't a critical bit of plot exposition being spoken at the exact moment we just happen to tune in. It's a constant feature. This one is a pretty huge one, it must be said. But it's not really that far removed from most other spyglass sequences in that respect.
Yeah.
But it's crazy though. Any other operation, they would be like, okay, so we've just laid out our plans and now we've found out that someone was listening. Let's do something else instead.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're talking about a British underhand security breach operation. You need to study the way British civil servants work. Lord Fear very clearly came from that particular sort of social set. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make him look too bright, though, does it? I can imagine Mark Knight nodding smugly if he ever watches this scene on the YouTube channel, because it's got a skybox listing pop up with 100 greatest sexy moments and
That's
Russia,
brilliant.
Land of the Tsars, often
I
as shows
saw
on the
that. That was
channels.
brilliant.
That is
A
superb.
sexy czar is definitely what Mark Knight thinks of himself when he's playing Lord Fear.
Do you know what? I probably wouldn't have any idea what you were talking about if it weren't for the fact the Internet Archive was down when I was writing the script.
Amazing.
Whoever Nightmare Uploader is, the fact that you set out to upload these episodes of Nightmare and archive them all, and then at this point you just got bored and started looking for something else to watch.
That's what it suggests, isn't it? But I think it's probably he was recording it and then his mother or maybe his wife walked into the room and decided they wanted to change channels. No, stop, I'm recording this. And you can see from the format, it's at least 20 years old, that format of the links on the screen. So it was a long time ago, and it was clearly a challenge recording, so it would have been a long time ago.
Yeah, it's the old Skybox, isn't it?
Yeah, the old style from the early 2000s. Good God. We are talking about how old-fashioned it is using a skybox in the early 2000s. We're talking about a TV show from 1992. We are getting old, guys. Having learned nothing else from the spyglass, the team instruct Alan to read the scroll. What a brilliant idea.
I mean, it's right there.
Can you read the parchment? Parchment.
Parchment. Yes, I can. It says, give him a great big hand.
So I've written here, it's pretty obvious from this that they should take the gauntlet. I should probably rephrase that. It is pretty obvious to us, the viewers, that they should take the gauntlet. It's a little mystifying that they proceed to completely ignore it. They instruct Alan to take the gold, then they discuss whether they should call Sidris, who had accidentally made herself ugly in the previous episode, to offer her the potion.
She wants to be made beautiful, doesn't she? Not ugly.
What did the scroll say to you?
Yeah, subtle hint there, Hugo.
I think that this scene took a lot longer to film than is presented to us, and they had genuinely forgotten what the scroll said.
You mean there's a longer version of this scene? Oh my God. What would that be like to watch? Ugh.
I feel like they tried to get too clever sometimes, like they were trying to think a few steps ahead, perhaps. And it just comes across as them just being really, really indecisive. Maybe I'm just being kind because I am just that person.
I'll remind you said that next time you insult me.
I mean, I feel like my squad would also not say I'm the nicest person when I give them loads and loads of conditioning. I just think that, I think there's just a bit of overthinking going on.
Once it's established that they should take the gauntlet, the team tell them to pick it up, and then a Stormgeist appears. So he grabs the gauntlets and the gold before making a somewhat hurried exit via a passive path.
Okay, you're going up some steps, Alan. You're going actually into the ruins now. Okay, stop, Alan. You're in a room, so you're not going to fall off anything. You're safe. There's 3 exits. The room is bare, so we'll guide you out from that.
Oh, no, Master, it's Peggotty, and she's in a foul mood.
Out, boys, while you can. Alan, quick, walk forward, quickly.
Peggotty's flying around the south transept of the church at Fountains Abbey in North Yorkshire again, firing projectiles willy-nilly all over the place. The team don't need anything to protect themselves this time. They just walk in a straight diagonal line towards the exit.
I want to correct something there. She doesn't fire projectiles all over the place. She keeps on firing them at exactly the same spot. But that spot is a spot that Alan never stands on at any stage while he's in the chamber.
Whenever this happened, it threw me back to like the very early series with the Scorpion, where there was like this much that you could walk through between the Scorpion sting and the wall.
This is one of those floor puzzles that I recall seemed quite effective in its day, but it's dated really horribly due to 1990s technical limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ignore the obvious fact that Peggotty is just a recorded moving image going across the top of the screen, launching fireballs at a very specific spot on the floor, with a cackling sound effect played over the top. It also doesn't help, I don't know if I'm the only one who's noticed this, the image of Peggotty appears to have been superimposed incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's supposed to be hovering right in front of the back wall, and that she's meant to zip in and out of the room through the big exit on the right, but instead she keeps passing in front of the near side of the door frame. That makes her appear instead to be halfway across the chamber instead, and therefore really small. And this, by extension, it gives her a truly Imperial Stormtrooper standard of marksmanship, because she must be hovering right over Alan's head, and she still misses him every time. As I say, it's not bad for its time, but the fact that, as you say, you can get past her just by walking in a straight line, it does take rather the sting out of the threat that she's supposed to be posing.
She does occasionally cause some panic in the teams. Not here. They keep their head here.
At the back.
Doesn't seem to be going around.
Right, stop, Alan. Okay, you're outside. You're not going to fall off anything. There's trees. There's an old man in front of you. You're on a path at the moment. There's an old man coming towards us. Yeah, he's in rags or some sort of...
Oh, pity a poor beggar.
I get the feeling that they were on their second chance, and the first time they did fall off something.
That's a possibility. It would certainly explain something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Master, it's old Hordris in one of his disguises.
There's no fooling you, is there, Pickle?
Come closer to me. Is
Alan,
that a presence
carefully take a
I
pace
sense
forwards.
there? Poor
Should I touch him?
Yeah, I don't think he'll zap you or anything.
Oh.
Might be Hordris.
It's Hordris
Beware,
in
though.
disguise, though.
Yeah.
Please,
trying to
do
trick
you
you.
have any food, or perhaps the means to buy food, or I shall surely starve?
Alan?
Yeah?
Say yes, but what can he do for us?
Well, yes, but what can you do for us?
Die very quickly if you don't give me some money for the food, dear boy.
The team is still pressing their advantage. Harris says that he will be eternally grateful for their help and might be able to help them out of his poor store of things. Poor store of things?
It's poor store of things. Yeah.
Yes, that's what he says.
Oh, is that what he's... Oh, I forgot that, right. The team there, so, might be able to help them out of his poor store of things.
Poor store of things.
No, that doesn't... I know what it says. I don't think it makes sense, that. I'm
Well,
not
that's
sure
what he says. So
help them out of his poor store of things.
yeah, he has a store of things that is poor.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what that means, though. I know what the words are. I don't understand the sentence. He will be eternally grateful for their help and might be able to help them out of his poor store of things.
Yeah, he has a store, a storage.
I was
of
repeating it
things.
for the soundtrack. Shut up.
We are a professional outfit.
The team relent and offer him the gold. For God's sake.
So I got to admit, I was fooled by this. I thought this was Clifford Norgate.
I could tell it wasn't his voice. First time I watched it, I could tell it wasn't his voice.
Oh, Alan, you dear boy. Here, Alan, let me take your hand.
Yeah, it's a trick. He's got a chest.
Give me your hand, Alan. I
He's got the
prepared
chest.
Alan, don't look away.
I'm looking away, I'm looking away.
Alan, take the box.
Yes, take the box.
Okay,
Alan.
take the box, but make sure it's closed. Keep it
Don't
closed.
open it.
You are a kind and gentle boy, Alan, and I shall always hold you in my heart. Farewell. Open it later, Alan. Not too much later.
So maybe this isn't Hordris after all. Alan turns away, determined not to look at the chest, but after a quick rethink, the team advise him to take it after all. They surmise that Alan should be safe, provided that he doesn't open it. Treguard's, well, the thing about this actually not being Hordris really is that when Treguard said, "There's no fooling you, is there, Pickle?" that becomes very meta, doesn't it? The scene is actually quite clever, I think, because it functions as a rather neat double bluff and shows that Thea wasn't being quite as daft earlier as we thought. Having said that, his decision to keep using the Genoese bock after he mentioned it before is still a bit baldric.
Yeah.
You can definitely detect Mark Knight's voice at various points throughout this scene, which is probably a deliberate clue. And on a tangential note, I can't help wondering whether Harris is meant as a prototype for Brother Strange in later seasons.
Oh, yeah.
You are a kind and gentle boy, not too much later. I do like the little scheme, but I have to say it is one of those pointlessly over-elaborate plans, which in a more realistic setting, you'd think they wouldn't do that. Lord F has basically fooled the team into thinking that he's Hordris already, so they're going to be a little bit less on their guard. So why doesn't he just fry Alan on the spot with a fireball and move on to the next quest? But the idea does still have a sort of cleverness to it. I'll give it credit for that.
What does Lord Fear do? Fries them with his hex vision.
That's right, Mr. Flibble.
Apparently, I'm far too caffeinated for this today.
Okay, we're going to hurry up.
Now walk forwards.
Okay, Alan, you're on the ice shield.
At last, the rocks have ruined.
So as Alan leaves and we go into the passive path sequence, we get a better look at these rather beautiful rock formations.
Master, what's so special about the rocks of Bruin?
I'm glad you asked, Pickle. The real-world location of the rocks of Bruin is Brimham Rocks. It's a stretch of high Yorkshire moor where the landscape seems to have developed a mischievous streak, shaping enormous blocks of ancient sandstone into forms that look uncannily like creatures, characters and half-finished sculptures. Some lean at angles that make you instinctively hold your breath. Others perch on narrow bases as if they're trying to impress the valley below. And all of them carry the marks of millions of years of wind, ice and weather patiently carving away. Walking amongst them feels quite surreal. It feels like a place where nature has clearly enjoyed itself, leaving behind a moorland gallery of accidental art. I don't know if you can tell, I have been here.
Maybe.
It is so cool.
There's a place I sometimes go hiking in Derbyshire called Owler, and it has very, very similar formations. I've never been to Brimham, but I have been to similar locations. It's very, very, very beautiful, no doubt about it. Treguard's description has a certain lack of colour.
Ah, well, it's a place of legend.
What legend, Master?
Don't ask. You wouldn't like to know.
A portal takes Alan to the next area.
Stop, Alan. Stop. You're in the middle of a forest or something or other. You're not going to fall off anything. The floor's solid.
That count for the episode is now 4, by the way, and we're not even halfway through.
There's a exit.
So you got past us, did you? Dodged us, did you?
It's like a witch,
Fair
or a small
enough.
witch.
Got to be fair, haven't we? Rather fair than foul,
I like Hecate.
Alan explains that there was a witch shooting at him earlier, so he legged it. He legged to get away from Pegati to see Hegate. Who comments that the witch Alan is referring to was her sister.
Does Stephanie Hess play Pegati as well?
I don't think she does. I think it's just one of the technical staff that they dressed up to play Pegati because she doesn't say anything, and I think she looks too tall to be the same actress.
What you got, Breggety?
Well, what have you got for me?
We got all sorts, witches have. We've got charms and spells and all sorts. But you don't get nothing for nothing.
Well, I'm on a quest at the moment for a sword. Could you give me anything that would help me?
Well, as as I says.
Give her the box.
I got charms and I got spells.
The team decide to offer Heggerty the box, which she takes without question, interestingly. They tell her not to open it, but she does so anyway.
Dun, dun, dun.
Alan instinctively puts his hand under the helmet of justice to cover his eyes. However, nothing happens.
Alan.
Bet you thought I'd just don't be turned, didn't you? Hey.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Don't work on witches.
I do like Heggerty's playful sense of humour here, because you can see she's clearly trying to make Alan twitch. And he does!
So, having attempted to turn Heggerty to stone, Alan then has the nerve to ask for a spell to help him on his quest.
I don't think that's completely fair, because they did try to warn her not to risk opening
but
it.
They gave it to her anyway.
It's her choice. It's her choice.
Heggerty laments that she doesn't think she has one that would be of any use, so Alan asks her to help Sidris instead. She offers him the spell Beauty before leaving. Once she's gone, Alan calls Sidris.
Sidris.
Oh, it's you again, Alan. I do hope you can help me. And if you can, then do it at once. I can't stand looking like this any longer.
Spell casting. B-E-A-U-T-Y.
Oh, thank you.
What if they'd taken the ugly potion and given that to Heggerty? What do you think would have happened?
Slap her on the chops.
Now listen, the password for this level is Scarify. And the guard's pretty scary too. You'll need to take ship if you're to reach level 3. Oh, thank you. Now, I must go, and so must you.
Sidris leaves and a Puka appears to hurry Alan along. The team guide him through the portal in the rock face.
Do you notice how we never get a view of Sidris's face here until after the spell is cast? Iona Kennedy was clearly already back in her regular get-up, so they just decided to hide it rather than any elaborate technical jiggery-pokery with it.
Hey, stop, Alan.
Look, I know you're all worried that Alan's going to fall off something here. So here's advisor Jim to reassure everyone.
You're not going to fall off anything because you're outside and there's no cliffs. Can you see? I think there's something in front of you. Can you see what it is?
Yes, food.
Yeah, pick it up and put it in that then. A bit low.
There's a creature up in front of you, almost like a robot.
Jim, stand still.
I seek a word. Give me a word, or I take a limb, perhaps an arm, perhaps a leg. Give me the word.
Alan gives Dreadnought the password Scarify, and Dreadnought allows him to pass. Not much else to add. The passive path takes Alan to a portal.
It's really just a blocker scene, isn't it?
I still like Dreadnought. I find it a bit creepy.
It's a bit of a missed potential, though. For me, the Dreadnought is the great corridor of the catacomb of season 6. It's talked up to the nines, but its impact is underwhelming. It's good to have some variety aesthetically, I suppose, but in the end, they could have just used a blocker courtyard here, and it would have made zero difference to the way the quest developed.
Dreadnought still looks like something off Star Fox.
Yeah. I miss the riddles.
Yeah, so do I. They'd got rid of them to speed things up, but the problem is they also took away most of the challenge from it.
Moving on, I do actually like this episode, so...
I think there are things to like in it, definitely.
I had fun with it. At the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for.
It's got its problems, but it isn't boring.
Okay, we're on the ice shield now, and we're walking through the rocks again.
I think they're the stones of brewing.
Yeah. We're still walking.
We're coming up to a porthole now.
Yeah. Okay, so you're in a room. You're not going to fall off anything. There's 2 exits. One to your at the end of the room. One to the right. One to the left. There's a hand come down. It's a big, huge hand above you.
Not so fast, Alan. No one gets away from me that quickly.
This is genuinely one of my favourite parts of the episode. In a moment that genuinely jump-scared me whilst I was writing the script, Lord Fear's hand descends from the ceiling and covers the exit to the right. Unsure what to do, the team instruct Alan to literally offer him the gauntlet.
Alan?
Yeah?
Offer him the gauntlet if he lets you through.
If I give you this gauntlet, will you let me through?
No, Alan, I won't. I'm not susceptible to bribes. I want you.
This is very reminiscent, again, of Season 2, Team 3, when Mogdred's hand was chasing Christopher in the Level 2 Wellway chamber. The team decided to guide Alan to the other exit, but he is having none of it.
Alan, sidestep left. And again.
The hand's following you across.
And put the glove on.
Finally, one of the team figures it out. Alan pulls the gauntlet on, which causes a large spectral gauntlet to appear. It grasps Fear's hand in a position where it can't cause Alan any harm. The team, all talking at once, guide Alan to the exit on the right. And it's whilst doing the script for this and obviously watching it back that I realise it's basically Mark Knight just holding his own hand, isn't it?
Very probably. Oh, technically, by the way, right at the end here, technically, Mark Knight is guilty of swearing on a kids' show because he says, damn you.
It was nice to see an actual semi-puzzle back again. They had to actually, do something.
It kind of resembles Mogdred chasing Christopher with a giant hand in Season 2.
If they'd been really silly and hadn't taken the gauntlet, it would have been game over.
And it's using a clue object in an old style way, so it's a bit of old school Nightmare, and I always appreciate that.
But also, they had to use an object that they had to hold on to for more than one room.
Yes.
Which is good.
Absolutely. Again, that feels old school. That feels like Nightmare being Nightmare again.
The gloves got his hand. Alan, move to your right.
Not amused.
Sidestep right. And again.
Quick.
Keep going.
Walk forward.
Walk forward. Quickly.
I said keep going, Alan. Keep going.
Get you for this.
Okay, Alan, you're back in the dwarf tunnel. Can you see anything around?
No. Dwarf tunnels, Master? What Alan needs is a way into level 3.
No, Pickle. What Alan needs to know is whether or not he's going to fall off anything. That information is severely lacking here.
Okay, Alan. You're still in the dwarf tunnel, but to your right is it looks like a boat, actually.
Yeah, it's rocking up and down.
Turn 90 degrees to your right. That's it. Try and walk forward.
Okay, Alan, you're on the boat, on the ship. You're moving up and down.
What sea, Master?
You can't fall anywhere.
Surely only elves cross the great ocean, and when they do, it's never to return.
Don't jump to conclusions. This vessel, unless I'm mistaken, can cross more than just oceans. Neither is Lord Fear nor his minions allowed to take passage. Although the captain is no friend of the powers that be, extreme caution.
So here we get our first ever look at the good ship Cloudwalker, the ship cursed never to find land, which actually kind of contradicts some of the things they say later. But anyway, it appears to be an old sailing galleon of the kind that was in favour in the 17th or 18th century. It appears to be an actual ship as opposed to a set. Could be. I have a feeling I've seen it in something else on ITV before. The rails in the foreground, I think, were possibly used on an episode of the Aeneid line about 15 years earlier, but I may be wrong about that.
My first instinct was to check Portsmouth Historic Dockyards to see if it was the Victory, but I don't think it is. The idea of a ship cursed never to find land is almost definitely based on the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt. That actually even got into a riddle. It's almost become a cliche, the Flying Dutchman. In Brixham, in Devon, there's an exact replica of one of Francis Drake's ships in the dock there. They might have actually filmed the background in that and then subimposed it here. It's a quieter one here because Pickle is talking over the team, but if you listen carefully, you can hear the "you can't fall anywhere" count is now got up to 7. 7!
I like this one because it sounds genuinely dejected that he didn't get to say it.
Keep going. It's okay.
Whoops! Here's an ugly one. Gremlins. So ugly it's got a bag on its head. No, can't be a bag. It's got horns. Must be a helmet, I suppose. Here, I wonder which is the front and which is the back. Hello, is anybody home?
Yeah.
Look, it's no good being shy, you know. Just because you've got a face like a goblin's backside doesn't mean you have to keep it hidden all the time.
Thanks.
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you ought to.
This first bit on the Cloudwalker does feel a bit experimental. It's like they're trying to find out how well the idea of a ship would fit in a world of dungeons and caverns. The answer is not all that well, but it's passable. There isn't a great deal of purpose to Elita being here yet, beyond having something happening to make the footage more alive and therefore easy to judge. At the moment, it just seems to be an excuse to have somebody walking on the deck of a ship.
Look, I don't suppose I should be telling you this, but if I were you, I'd get off this ship before it arrives at where it's going. Before the captain discovers you've stowed away. Oh, and if I were you, I'd get a quick wash. If he doesn't see you, he's likely to smell you.
Alan, walk forward, please. Mind that grate. There's a grate to your left.
Yeah, just keep walking
That
forward.
No, it's all right.
Just keep walking forward.
forwards.
Keep going, it's okay.
Quick.
Keep going.
Okay, Alan.
Yeah?
Stop. You're under the in the ship itself now. There's a chest in front of you. Can you see what's on it?
I can see it.
You're not going to fall off anything.
There's some
don't
food here.
Yeah, you better put that in a
Take the
knapsack.
food.
There's a scroll.
Yeah,
Now
read the
read the
scroll.
scroll.
then.
Abandoned ship, women and children first.
I've put something in here specifically to cause discussion. See if you can figure out what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Alan, there's some food here. It's a cob of bread.
It gets hashtag
I was just
knapsack.
pausing in case any of you wanted to argue the whole cob of bread
Nope.
thing.
No,
No, because I know you're wrong. I don't have to point it out.
it's a cob. It's a cob.
It's a cob.
Down where I come from, a cob is actually part of the local dialect.
Well, a lot of people refer to it as a cob, as a crusty roll, but this is a cob.
Or a crusty cob if you want to compromise on it, but it's a cob. you Northerners, you've got no respect. You're always picking on us Southerners.
Love
you are.
you, Kim.
Thanks.
Anyway, the filming for this scene in the holds, I don't think was too well planned at the beginning because they've set the camera in a position where Alan has to be parked directly between it and the barrel with the objects on it. The team can't actually get a clear view of what's on the barrel, which is a bit dumb.
Well, it's okay, because Alan can. So there is also a scroll that says abandoned ship, women and children first. The last item of note is a spyglass, which immediately gets put to use. And I'm going to just say here, we have a bit of an Arwok moment.
We do.
I know, Scarkill. In fact, as I know practically everything and you know nothing, it sometimes escapes me why I seem to spend most of my time listening to your prehensile meanderings.
Sorry you're fishing with you, Lordship. Just trying to be friendly like.
Well, don't. For friendly like, read familiar like. Oh no, I forgot you can't read, can you? Just shut up and listen. There's a quest on in level 3. It's for the sword, which is fortunate because it happens to be hidden deep in the caverns of Gore. Now get moving, get heading in that direction. Take Rock and the big one. Tiny, you know, the one who trod on your leg. And for heaven's sake, take the even path. Otherwise, you'll all come a cropper.
Lovely.
Now, I've done a ground scan of the whole level. If the little adventurer isn't on land, then there's only one other place he can be. Ah, if it isn't Captain Nemanor. Greetings, bold mariner.
Greetings, Lord Fear. What ill wind blows you across my bows?
There's no need to be like that. I merely wish to inquire, as is my right under the treaty, you recall, whether you are carrying any contraband.
There are none of your sightless enemies aboard this ship, and therefore no excuse to send your minions to board us.
I wonder. Not even the teeniest possibility of the tiniest little stowaway.
I am quite certain, but be assured, if anything has crept aboard, I shall dispatch it myself.
Excellent. Just what I was hoping you would say. Ah, you must excuse me. Intruder alert.
First thing I should point out, this is already the 4th different scene in this one episode to feature Lord Fear. But let's go through a couple of the other details first, because there are quite a few notes of interest. One of which is, this is the first time we see Scarkill in Mount Fear, rather than talking remotely from Mount Fear. It's also the first scene where we see Scarkill and Lord Fear in the same place together. It's also a scene where you get the feeling that Lord Fear doesn't know what prehensile means. It means capable of grasping, but the way he uses it here, he seems to think it means the opposite.
Is he using it sarcastically?
Could be. I don't think so, though. And we also hear for the first time about the Caverns of Gore.
Oh, yeah.
And this is also where we get to the rather uncomfortable bit. We get to see Adrian Neal making his first appearance as Captain Numenor at last. I'm a little unclear as to who is contacting whom in this scene, because Fear sounds surprised when Numenor appears in the pool, and yet Numenor asks Fear what he wants. So I don't know. I'm not sure who actually did the phone call there. But here is the really unfortunate bit, and unfortunately it harks back to Arwok. I get the feeling that Numenor is another unfortunate racial stereotype. I've never noticed this before, but his head garb and accent clearly imply he's from a Middle Eastern caliphate.
Yes.
But worse than that, he appears to have brown face makeup.
Oh.
I say I didn't notice that before, but looking at it, I'm wincing.
I'm hoping that this turns out to be an unfortunate lighting incident, because
So am I.
Looking at future episodes, he doesn't seem to have it then.
Maybe they realised after filming the scene what it looked like, and they decided to stop doing that in future. But it does look distinctly like brown face makeup they were using there.
It's uncomfortable, isn't it?
Even if it was just a lighting thing. Well,
Yeah.
light it differently then. I do feel a bit bad for Adrian Neal because he played both Rodolfo and Numenor.
And he plays them really well.
He does. It's not his fault that the stereotypes were there.
It's not his fault. No, he was doing the best he could with what he was given.
Yeah.
I think Numenor is based on Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but I'm also wondering if there is a Middle-earth reference there as well because of the island of Numenor.
Oh, never thought about that.
I tell you what, actually, we have another Kim on Blue Sky. I bet they will know the answer. They seem like the kind of person that would know the answer. So, Kim on Blue Sky, do you know the answer to this? Or anyone who knows the answer to this?
Please settle this. Just so we're clear, we mean the whole Numenor thing, not the bread.
Hey! You still here, are you?
Yeah.
Well, now you're in deep trouble, aren't you?
Elita jumps out, giving Alan a brown trousers moment to rival Stuart Leatherland's encounter with Lilith all those series ago. Ah, those were the days. Alan asks her if she has any information that might aid his quest.
He almost falls over here.
Again, overthinking.
He almost fell off something.
Ah, no!
Could you give us any information, anything that helps, please?
Alan, say please again.
Well, if I do help you, and I'm not saying that I shall, you've got to help me, okay?
If I can.
I need a firestone for Smirknoff. He's not well, and it's the only thing that makes him better. Get the firestone and call my name 3 times.
Okay.
Now, quickly, get through that hatchway.
Walk forward.
You got the name? Do we know her
Almost
name?
forgot. To get the firestone, you've got to steal it from Ariadne's new lair. Now, hurry up!
What's her,
Alan,
what's her name?
What's her name?
You don't ask, Pong.
And what's her name?
Pixie, it's Pixie, isn't
Okay.
it?
Oh dear, this doesn't bode well for the team. Still, the promise that we might see Ariadne make another appearance is quite a tantalising one. A passive path leads Alan through a hatchway and into more dwarf tunnels.
I'm genuinely excited about the prospect of seeing Ariadne.
Okay, we're on the ice shield now, Alan. You're at the back of the boat. You're going down a hatch. Alan, dwarf tunnel again. In front of you, there looks like a key. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's a key.
Pick it up. Pick it up then.
Shall I go onwards?
It looks like Ariadne's leg. There's a spider's web on the wall
Ah.
next to you. Beware.
Yeah.
You walk forward to some stuff on the floor.
Yes, you're right. Alan does seem to have ported through into a dwarf tunnel.
No dwarves here, Master. They've all gone north for the season. I knew a really clever dwarf.
Yes,
once.
Pickle, I think we can do without your life history, particularly if Alan's going to have a life future. Be careful, team. As the elf said, the dwarves have left, but others use these passages.
So the dwarfs did build the tunnels for themselves. Make your bloody mind up, Traegard, before the team can reach their confrontation with Ariadne.
Time out. And in case you're worrying, that goes for Skarkill and his goblins as well. It's hands off, or in their case, manacles off until the next phase begins. Of course, it's trebly nerve-wracking to pause in a level 3 situation. Can your nerves hold until time turns again? Here's a comforting thought. Play fair, For fear play foul. All begins again at the allotted hour.
The credits play over footage of some goblins skulking through the dwarf tunnels, followed inexplicably by a samurai.
What do you think of the episode then, kids?
It's one of the better episodes we've had recently. Alan's at least an active dungeoneer, always safe in the knowledge that he's not going to fall off anything. And it is nice to get a new location and a new character, even if it was a slightly racist character.
And we actually got a puzzle, an object puzzle.
It's an okay episode, even if this team's neurosis about falling starts to grate after about 3 scenes. Final count was 7, by the way. The advisors are the main issue for me. They're a bit too passive for my liking and have a startling tendency to miss the very, very obvious. Lord F's over-domination of the season continues, with him even getting directly involved in level 2, which he never used to do. That's not necessarily a problem in itself, but with him in so many other scenes in one, you do start thinking, oh, for heaven's sake. I do like the double bluff trick with the Medusa's eye that he tried to pull by pretending to be Hordris, pretending to be a beggar, even if it was pointlessly overcomplicated. Always remember the old adage, a pro keeps it simple, is my advice to Lord Fear. We get some new locations, though, which helps to keep things fresh. There's plenty happening in most scenes, and it moves along quickly enough as an unfolding narrative to keep it watchable.
I do think the advisors do suffer from overthinking, like I said before. They've obviously watched this and they are fans, but I do think they're just trying a little too hard. They think there's sort of a trap in everything. And while there sometimes is, there also sometimes isn't.
I think in many ways you can almost think they're almost playing it like it was an early season.
Or like it was a choose your own adventure book.
There's an awful lot of plot build-up in different scenes now and only the occasional trap. So that's probably why they're seeing a trap in everything.
I will say the next episode does set a record. All I'm going to say is 26 seconds. If you've been enjoying the podcast, please leave us a rating and review on your platform of choice. It really helps us grow and reach more people who might enjoy what we're doing.
We're Nightmare Pod on Threads and Twitter, and you can find us on Instagram at Temporal Discussion.
You can also follow us on Blue Sky at nightmarepod.bsky.social.
We hate when ads interrupt podcasts, so we're keeping this one ad-free with the help of our supporters on Patreon. You can join them by supporting us at Nightmare Pod.
Speaking of which, here's a shout out to Keepers of the Book of Quests, David N. Rabbit, Paul McIntosh, Peter Pulsford, and Scott Evans.
Advisors Benjamin Bloom, David Thompson, Kim Harder, Kim Stewart-Crossley, Lord Entropy, where the O is a 0, Paul Craddy, Peter Sidon, and Pig Venus.
Hello, piggy, piggy, piggy.
And of course our Dungeoneers, Peter Courage, Dan Heath, Adam Battersby, and Adam D.
Poor Adam D has been a Dungeoneer for ages, and I kept forgetting to add his name. I'm so sorry, Adam.
Patreon supporters also get access to exclusive episodes, merchandise, and if you pledge as a Keeper of the Book of Quests, you'll even get the chance to join us as a guest on the show, if you so wish. All our paid up members also get access to each episode an entire week before everybody else.
Our website is nightmarepod.co.uk, and you can find Temporal Discussion merchandise, including t-shirts, stickers, and more at nightmarepod.redbubble.com.
And you can drop us an email at podcast@nightmarepod.co.uk.
And just keep telling yourself.
You're not going to fall off anything.
Are you?